Whoa, bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah. It's toast.
Okay, so I suppose that we can start with check-ins.
Yeah.
Yes. So who wants to start?
Technically, there's one thing before check-ins, which is just to remind us is some of the meeting positions and the such. But I think we already have a little clarity on that. Like we have facilitation, like Jay and Jorge. You're already helping out, Jorge. You're a natural facilitator. Timekeeping, Jorge. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I can do timekeeping. Oh, Jorge's doing timekeeping. Okay, so
you can help him if you want.
Yes, I can help.
All right. Well, anyways, that gets us started. We'll go over the rest of the positions later. All right. Cool. Check-ins.
Check-ins. Who wants to start?
I can start.
I can. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So I am doing pretty well. I have been busy, but I feel like things have been getting accomplished. So it's always nice when you're busy to get things done, as opposed to not. Oh wait, notes. Jay. That could be another thing that we could do is note taking. So doing pretty good. Busy, but
I'm already taking your notes over here.
I don't know, where are they? I don't see them. Oh, they're way down there. Oh, how did I get so low down? They're so low. I just didn't see them. So I want to do the heading here, and we want to do notes under there. Perfect. Okay, so where was I? So I'm feeling pretty good. Things seem to be getting done, which is good. I really want to like see things like, evolve and step up, but I also want to take care of myself and like, yes, I have personal tasks as well to deal with, and all those personal things just get in the way of like all the things to help the world and the community, So it's like that's part of why life support is so important. But yeah, I'll just stop there. Check.
Okay, so I will go next. So I'm starting to have a little bit more time. I don't know what to do. I know I have to do some exercise or yoga, meditation and stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next, and that's what I'm doing right now. What I did during my morning, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my spare time, and that's about it. I'm really excited how we are working, and that's it. Check.
All right. Right, so I guess it's my turn. I was writing today was a good day so far because it's not over yet. It's really cold and rainy here. It's like every 2 hours it's raining here. I got a call this morning from my friend. He's just a little blue, but I was helping, so I actually feel helpful as a person and as a professional, and it's good. And from 1 to 9, I feel like 8.
I am a 5.8. How about you, Nelly?
I am like a 6. Yeah.
So we are 6.6.
Cool. Awesome. And thank you, Jorge, for like getting us organized and focused, man. It's so good. All right. So couple priorities. So priority topics that we want to go over today. I definitely want to do the what do you call it? The template doc/agenda/meeting note. That one's pretty key. We definitely also need to go do scheduling and structural evolutions. Key. And then I have a couple other things. Let me see if I can find them here. All right, so scheduling. Here, I'm just gonna put this in here, copy and paste. So this defines like the similar scheduling. I'm gonna go over the octant sessions, et cetera, et cetera. Deliverables, introduce new budgeting systems. So we have some new budgeting systems I wanna go over. And then we wanna go over responsibilities. Rearrange a few responsibilities, maybe. So we'll see how that goes. All right, and then we have next steps, practice. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. Okay, let's do some quick updates. So that's what I think we should do for our priority topics. What do you guys think?
Shall I paste the next steps from yesterday?
Yes. And that would go under priority topics. So go under other topics. So next steps from yesterday. And then the other option is to basically get the master topic list. So the master topic list, if you should have the next steps from yesterday as well already, you know?
Yes.
So these are responsibilities, the exit responsibilities.
We have to do the value tracking for today and send the emails.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we might want to, we might just take a break from that for today. We'll talk about it when we get there. And maybe I'll do it in part of the updates. Let's talk about, weekly value tracking. So we have the Oceania/global team. There's the full moon session, which is very exciting. The full moon session is like pretty much like outreachable. I mean, we might want to do some outreach there. All right, so does this look good? Pretty good here?
Yes.
Okay, organize and drive master ledger. Oh, we have our new session points. Anything else? We can always add stuff later too. Okay, so
I'm checking for previous tasks and handling them time.
yeah, so we just want to add the master task list and the master topic list links so that we have, and then everything just needs to get into the master list, and then we'll be fine. All right, so let's start with some of the updates. You guys ready for updates?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
So one thing I was telling Jorge briefly before we got to this meeting is that we're gonna start doing what I would call like additional session points, right?
Okay.
And one of them is called the on-time point, right? So for session and meeting value tracking, we would have, we don't need to say additional here, we could just say points, right? So you get on-time points. There's going to be preparation points, and then there's going to be early points. Okay. So preparation points would be like getting ready for the meeting and having agenda, all that kind of stuff. So Jay and Jorge did that. Neither of us were technically early, but we both got on time. And then Nelly, you and then you have attendance points. So we could put that at the top. Attendance and check-ins. So this would be Jay, Nelly, and Jorge, right? And then you have time, and this would be audio and text. And so we have Jay, Nelly, Jorge, all were at 2 p.m. So even though you were a little bit late, Nelly, you're still basically on time for the meeting. You just wouldn't get on time points. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So on time points is like you have to be there either early or literally on time. Like within the, I don't know, we could say within a minute, right? Within 1 minute or so. I don't know, whatever. The idea is to start the meeting on time.
Yes.
So that's an exciting. I think that's kind of fun. It just like makes it a little more entertaining. But cool. So we're all here, and then so if Isaac got here at this point, it would be getting into the 2:25, right? So let's say Isaac got here, he would be here at 2:25, and then maybe Ana Cuera would be like 2:50, right? Anyway, so just gets you more points and more value, which can be turned into equity and tokens and eventually money. So let's see here. So are there any questions on the value tracking for the session?
Nope.
Cool. And do you guys like these ideas, these points? Isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's neat.
Right. So let's go into the next one, which is the weekly value tracking. So I went over the weekly value tracking because I was doing some of the Slack messages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just to like put it bluntly, it was like a disaster. I mean, it was so like I couldn't even legibly understand it. And this is just the log, right? So basically to break it down, so we're doing some updates here. Put another line here, insert line, updates. So for the weekly value tracking, so basically you have the log was a mess and I basically redid it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jay redid it from scratch, right? And one thing that I did is I I deleted all of the other days, for the week, and I think it's important to focus, so basically the idea would be to focus on the specific day and tasks, right? For that day. So I think that might have been getting kind of confusing where it's like you're looking at the entire week, you're trying to figure out what needs to happen at what times. And it's like, let's just focus on the specific tasks that need to get done for that particular day. And then as far as the ledger, so this would be the weekly ledger, it was great. So that was really good. The only problem with the ledger was that, the week before wasn't done. So that was a problem. All right, so you always want to finish the previous week first before going on to the next week. So do you guys have any questions about that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's weird because we have done all the weeks.
Yes, since 2 weeks ago.
Well, we can review it really quickly if you want me to,
please.
just to make sure it's clear.
Probably we're doing something wrong, yeah, but.
Well, it's not that you guys are doing anything wrong. It's just finishing it. It just all needs to be green, right? So I go to here. Why is it so hard? Exit systems. Oh wow, there's just so many of them now. Okay. So we're gonna start with the ledger. So see how it's all green now for the previous week? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. So, and we definitely want to index this weekly value tracking discussion. So, all right. So if we go to, I think I can do this. All save changes. Oh no, not what I wanted. All right. Last edit was 1 hour ago. All right. So we're gonna go here. God, why is it black and white? It's really, really frustrating. Is there any way to make it color? Total edit. Edit. Show changes. Nothing. Okay, but anyways, you can tell that this one's all green, right? It's like totally done over here for April 14th to 20th, and then April 21st to 27th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blank spots that weren't done yet.
Yes.
So I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's just like the goal is to have it be all green and all complete. Okay. And so over here we can see there's still, obviously for this week is not done at all. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was pretty easy to finish that. All I had to do was you know, I just like put some zeros in for some people, and I also just estimated that Vienna was like 100%. You know, so it's just like you want to finish it and block it and make it all green. So it's pretty minor, but you know,
we didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So we all that's the goal. Is everything is always 100% green.
Okay.
And so then for this day, I also changed these to put to the side so that you can easily sort it to have all the done ones, and then you can just focus on the ones that aren't done, which are in yellow.
Oh, okay, great.
So so do you guys want to quickly review the other one too? The log.
Yes, absolutely.
So the log's going to be hard to see. So I changed the log around. You can see how it's very clean. You know, you just have like, here are the no's. These are the people who did not fill out the form. Here are the yeses. And that's like all you guys really need to focus on here. And then all of this was like, you know, just really not applicable to where we were. So all we have to focus on now is this, right? And everything else is good. So I can try to show you where it was before. But basically, you had the whole week, right? So the whole week, I think, might have confused you guys because like you're trying to think about everything for the whole week when it's like really you just need to think about the one day, and it takes like 5 seconds to put it in. So right here you have Friday, May 5th. So this is from the bot, and it says all not applicable. There should never be a not applicable in the first day, right? And so another thing that I did is I put a space here so you can have a space between the weeks. So it's really clear. So the first day of the week is always either a no or a yes, right? So if you go back to the last one from the bot, it's always a no or a yes, right? From Friday 21st bot announcement. And if it's not applicable, it means that the person wasn't there, right?
Okay.
Maybe we could just put yes for us. But anyway, so then you have another space here, and then this is the other one. So the first day of the week is always either a no or a yes. Right, so what we had here was basically there was not applicable for most of them, and then there's 1, 2, 3 yeses, and everything else was no. And then all this was yeses and no, yeses and no, which is also pretty confusing. So, and then it's like, did you guys send Slack messages? Like, I don't know. So basically there was a miscommunication here, and I wasn't sure what was happening. Okay?
Okay.
So do you understand how it should be? Is that these should all be either a yes or no? Did they fill out the form? And then the Slack messaging would be totally separate. Like, did we send the Slack? And that would be filled out either by me or Isaac. So anyways, one of the things that I'm thinking here is that, I mean, if Isaac and Ana Clara were here, I'd be much more interested in potentially having them take it on. But let's give you guys another week to get better at it. You know, and if it doesn't work out, I mean, like, there's plenty of other things you can do. And like me and Isaac could easily handle that, you know, maybe with Ana Clara's help a little bit. But anyways, we'll do another week and see how it goes, and then just go from there, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think that's good. Weekly value tracking. I'm not sure what time this was, but it would technically be good to do a, what do you call it? I don't know what you call it. The video indexing.
I did it for the session meeting value tracking.
Oh, you did? Oh, here you go. Video recording links. This would be video indexing recording links. Awesome. Session meeting value tracking. Perfect. Let's just say exa value tracking. Let's make it simple. Wait, no, this is session meeting value tracking. You did it. You did it for this one. For this.
Session.
Okay, so
yeah.
This would be session. So then the
This
next
one we
one
start
will be
talking about the
exa
points.
weekly.
That's what I started.
So we could estimate this on like, you know, at like maybe 14 minutes. And let's see, what time is it currently? Let's see, so we're currently at 20 minutes, so maybe it was more like 15. All right, so now we're gonna go on to the next update, which is the Oceania Global Team.
Mm-hmm.
So the Oceania Global Team is doing really good. The most important thing to note here is that we had a pretty difficult meeting on our Sunday night with their Monday morning. And it's just like, and Nelly knows all about this, you know, just like the confusion of like real-time voice audio with the text only people, right? It's just very, very difficult. It's very slow. You know, everything's held up. It's just like, it's all very, very hard, right? And so we're instituting a new model. Basically, it's like a text only session with audio breakouts, right? So what happens is we break out into buddy teams. So what happened yesterday is we had a double team. It was me and Lucy and Abdul and Ulysses. Abdul and Ulysses are text only, and me and Lucy were audio. So we did the first part of the session text only, got everybody organized, got everybody with tasks, and then we broke out into buddy teams, and me and Lucy did a live real-time session with voice, and it just went so much better. And it was organized and clear, and everybody was engaged. So basically, the bottom line here is that we need to practice an Andromeda text-only session, because we all need to understand and know how text-only sessions function. And this is really important so that we're able to interact with the global team, because if you think about it, like the vast majority of the people of the world will only be able to engage with us via text and will not be able to talk because of the internet problems, and having access to, you know, voice or computer systems is just not possible. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have a different platform than the Hangouts for this Andromeda text-only sessions?
Well, we use the Google Docs. So we actually, like, we're all taking notes on the doc together to do the texting. The text only.
Okay.
Yeah. And we will get a whole bunch of other tools for asynchronous communications. And it's on our next steps. So we can add that to next steps here. So new next steps. So this would be communication systems. And that's also big time responsibility. Priority responsibilities. All right. So let's go on to the next update, which is the full moon session is tomorrow
At 10, right?
It's 8 a.m. America's time.
8. Okay.
Which might be 10. So 8. Wait, let's double check. It's always good to double, triple check everything, right? So
okay.
unitynet.info. Calendars, and we're going to go to America's time. It's at 9 o'clock a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So it's at 9 a.m. America's time. So are there any questions about the full moon session?
No, I mean, I wish I could be here, but that time precisely, I'm just start working.
Are you planning on being there, Nelly?
Let me check because. Sorry?
Are you planning on being there, Nelly?
Yes, I'll be there.
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right, and we'll probably start that as a text-only session. Yes, Jorge?
Okay.
What is the main subject for that meeting?
It's the only meeting of the global team. So the global team this is going to be the third meeting of the global team. When the Andromeda team has met, we meet every day, basically, you know, five times a week. So we've met like 15, 20 times, and this will be the third meeting of the global team. And then what's happening is the new structure. So I can quickly go over the structure. So structural evolutions, and then we might talk about it more in the meeting. Where you basically have the full team, and then you have the global team, and then under the global team is the Oceania team, right? And then we have the Andromeda team and the United States. Okay, and so the Oceania team is happening, you know, at that time, and we're also going to kind of split off to the Andromeda team. We might do an Atlantic team, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit, later.
So it's like you explained us in a past session about the hierarchy, right?
This isn't totally hierarchy. This is more like a division. It's like a division of and how things are organized.
Okay.
Yeah. So the full team is totally asynchronous, so it doesn't really exist. So this is async, and so it's not really existing. Async, right? The global team meets like, you know, on natural time cycles, right, and has its own budget. Right? The Oceania team meets, you know, daily. The Andromeda team, and this is the Americas, right? Andromeda Americas team, and this is Monday through Friday, right? And and this one doesn't meet yet. And then the United States team is also async, right? It's like irregular. So, and this has its own budget. So there's two budgets that are basically independent, and then the full team is just a combined budget. Does that make sense? So the full team doesn't really have power. So the actual structure is much more decentralized, right? The global team is decentralized, as separate from the Andromeda team. They all overlap. And as you guys learn more about our overlapping decentralized management structures, it'll become clearer. But eventually, the Oceania team could get its own budget, and the Atlantic team could get its own budget as well as the United States team. You know, and I guess this technically has its own budget as well, because it's basically my budget. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So that was a slight tangent. So let's do the evaluations real quick. So we're going to start doing evaluations now. And this is part of our just like ongoing systems. I mean, evaluations are super duper important.
Yeah, you mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah. So
720 evaluations?
720 evaluations, exactly. And so if we go through, so 720 evaluations. So the easiest way to think about it is that you can have like, typically you have like, you know, you could do like group, what do you call it? So you have 180 evaluations, like where you just evaluate your lowers, right? The people lower than you. I think it's, I don't even know. Anyways, but then you have like the 360 evaluation is basically where you evaluate, you know, up and down, right? So this is just evaluate down, only evaluate down, where you don't evaluate your superiors, right? And 360 evaluate up and down, and then 720 is like up, down, and around in all directions. So it's basically, you can evaluate everything at any time for any reason, right? That's basically our model evaluation. The other really cool thing about evaluation is, like, unlike with most systems where the evaluation is dependent on, so, you know, old systems, basically your evaluations might be dependent on your pay or your, you know, your job or whatever, right? You know, in this model, it's like not applicable. So in our system, you know, evaluations go towards empowerment and toward direct empowerment, and only indirectly affect work, pay, budgets, and decisions, right? So basically, the only decision you're making when you're evaluating is like, a good evaluation would equal getting higher power to make decisions. And then so what the people who get good evaluations decide to do with their decision-making power is up to them, So regardless of whether you get you're really bad or really, really good, the budgeting decisions and other types of decisions, it's like not applicable to your evaluation. Like, you can ignore the evaluations and how you actually make decisions, or you can, but the people who get good evaluations will be ranked higher than people who don't. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What is the type of evaluation in this case, Jay? For example, if you say that we're going to evaluate like who's been here for less time, or what are the kinds of things we need to evaluate, for example?
Great. Yeah. So basically, the easy way to think about it is we're going to have self-evaluations that'll be like monthly. So we're at the end of the month, right? So end of the month, we're going to be doing like self-evaluations. And then we'll also be doing session evaluations, weekly evals, and then we already talked about the monthly evals, right? And you can evaluate individuals, you can evaluate yourself, you can evaluate, teams, organizations, right? So, and teams can be any type of team. It can be like, the Andromeda team, it could be a buddy team, it could be a double team, right? So basically you can evaluate everything, and it's always best, always best to evaluate in real time. Just like we do all our value tracking in real time and everything. So when you do it in real time, it's the best. So the session evaluations are really good. It's like you finish the session, you evaluate the session. So what I was going to show you here is the general evaluation form that I made with Lucy. So let me go ahead and pull that up, and we're going to obviously want that to be. I wonder if I clicked it here. Yeah, I already put it in here. And let's just go ahead and look at it real quick. So basically, it's really simple, right? This is a very simple general evaluation form, and we're going to make more complicated evaluation forms that break out the different types of categories for self-evaluation, which would be the monthly evaluation, and then also for team evaluation. But overall, when you're just doing general evaluation, you just put the name of the person of the group. So I could put here like, the Andromeda team, right? And I could say, okay, well, general evaluation score, this is scoring everything, including effort, contribution, support, activity, skills, communications, and anything else, right? So if we did like the self-evaluation form, or we did like a team evaluation form, we might break it up and actually break up into like 2 or 3 categories on like how the communications and the skills and the contributions have been, and score each type of category. But this is just a general 0 to 9. So for me, and let's say you did a really bad score, it wouldn't mean that suddenly the Andromeda team is going to be like dismembered or like taken away. It's like it doesn't affect anything. It's like, so we want people to be very open in the evaluation, and be okay to like be like, today's session sucked, 0, like that's great, right? It doesn't actually like affect anything directly. It's all indirect, and so the actual data is more important. So in this case, maybe I'll do like a 6, and you don't need to actually put your name. You can technically be anonymous, but obviously it's not totally anonymous because
we know it's you.
Yeah, we might be able to know it's you, but depending on what you write, you always want to write some type of comment. It's like, we're getting there as a team, but have lots of work to do. So that's pretty much it. And I could say, okay, the global team is like, oof, right? Slow and needs lots of work. What are you gonna do about it? So anyways, that's an example, and then I could submit. And so what's important is that any particular evaluation isn't important. It's all the evaluations are going to continually be averaged and brought into our evaluation. It'll just go into the whole election system and ranking. It'll just go into the ranking system.
All right, so we're going to be tailoring those questionnaires to apply to different stages of this process, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can
Okay.
evaluate different sessions and like, you know, whatever happens, and you can see all the previous responses. So I've been doing a few of them. I did some Lucy's, did some bad evals, I did some good evals, you know, all over the place. No, like super good. Like the idea is for me is that we want to like actually be improving, you know? So if you give 9s at the beginning for everything, then like how are you supposed to evaluate as things evolve? Because everything's always a 9, you know?
Yes.
You know, but some people will. Some people will be like, you know what? I just want to give people 9s because I do give people 9s. That's just what I do, you know? So it's totally up for every person to do whatever they want. And that's pretty much it. So are there any other questions on the evaluations? And I gave you guys a bad evaluation because of that for your buddy team, because of like how like oh my goodness, I was like, oh my god, like what is this? It was funny. But anyways, like it's really interesting because your buddy team might not directly relate to your personal evaluation. You see what I mean? Like buddy teams, you know, 2-3 people could actually have different responsibilities than the individuals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like the Andromeda team doesn't necessarily directly look bad against you as an individual. It just, there's some overlap there, but it's like the Andromeda team technically is separate from buddy team Jorge and Nelly, which is technically separate from just Jorge by himself, you know?
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that's pretty good on the evaluations. Are there any other questions on the evaluations?
No, I think it's pretty much clear. As a matter of fact, I understood that we will be applying those evaluations. So we're going to be like designing those evaluations on the Google Docs platform. I have some experience with that as well, so I feel it feels good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to work with Lucy some on that, you can. So the task here, and you know, Lucy is helping with this as well, is basically, you know, create a self-evaluation form, you know, with like a little more detail, maybe like 3 or 4 questions, right?
Okay.
Instead of just the one, right? And then we're also going to be creating team evaluation forms. So this would include the Andromeda team as well as the global team, and we might even do like a full team.
Okay.
One where basically, you know, everyone can evaluate each other. But the idea is that, you know, with the global team, well, let's do the Andromeda team, right? It might have, you know, 3 to 5 buddy teams in it, you know, maybe some double teams.
Yes, because we have worked with some of the team members of the global team, like Ulysses and Lucy, and I don't.
Maybe the Andromeda team can evaluate the global team as well, you know. So, you know, there might be like multiple, and then each individual, right? So we could list all the individuals within the Andromeda team. So we're all evaluating each other, and we're evaluating the buddy teams and the global team, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So anyways, if you guys want to help out with this, Jorge, you said you might want to help out with that a little bit?
Yes, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe you could start, we could start with this one.
Go ahead.
I was thinking you could start with that one. Nelly, if you want to help out, you can as well, but
sure.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, Nelly. And then for this one,
I just don't like evaluation, doing an evaluation about other people, but okay.
No, but the things that could be like simple questions that can be measured. For example, how do you, okay, from 1 to 9, how do you think is the quality of the system we're using, like the the video call, right? Or do you think in 1 to 9, from 1 to 9, what is the I don't know, for example, Jay's ability to speak about the different subjects we deal during the sessions?
Okay.
I mean, my request is that it's a little bit more general than that. So for example, you know, when this is going to be very similar to voting, right? So when you're voting on a election, right? So you're doing election voting.
Yeah.
You know, let's say you have 5 candidates, right? So you have candidate, you know, let's say Jay, Nelly, Jorge, you know, Isaac, and Anacleta are all running for the team, the best of the team, right? So you're going to be like the main coordinator, and you get, you know, a $500 bonus, right? So for the team, right? To be the main team coordinator, and you get a $500 bonus. The idea would be, you know, you are basically you're ranking each person based on who you want to represent you.
Okay.
So you're ranking the person based on who you want to represent you and who you want to make decisions for you. So it's kind of like representative democracy, and it's part of our structure for rankings. And all of our evaluation system just goes right directly into our ranking system and our election system, and it's basically like the same thing. You know, there's not really any difference, but it does allow for feedback. So the most important thing here, there's two key things. So key goals of the evaluation system is one, to rank members and teams. Two is to give feedback. So you can say, like, you know, so for example, you look at like Abdul, right? Abdul as, like, you know, doesn't speak English, right? So in terms of an English, or maybe he speaks a little English, doesn't speak much English, right? So it's like text only. So it's like, what is it in terms of the value that he's contributing, and like all the different components of you know, how he's supporting. I don't have any problem giving him like a low score, like 4 or whatever, because, you know, but he is doing a lot of, like, you know, help, you know, whereas like Ulysses is doing a lot of you know, tech. He only does text, and it's hard for him to communicate much, but he also doesn't do a lot of work, whereas Abdul does a lot more work. So maybe, you know, Abdul gets a 5 and Ulysses gets like a 4, right? Whereas like Nelly, you know, Nelly is doing a lot of work and really easy to speak to, and doing like 10 times more work than Abdul and, you know, Ulysses put together. So maybe I rank a Nelly like a 7, right? So the point here is that it helps give feedback, you know, but you want to put information like, you know, maybe slow down some more, right? And that's like, the feedback itself might be more helpful than you know, it's like, you know, do your best to get your audio going, or take English classes or whatever, right? So it's like you're giving feedback to help people improve and get better while you're evaluating them. And then the third thing is that at some point we have to make, you know, it helps us make difficult decisions, right? So that at some point, like if our budget is decreased, like if budgets are cut, etc., I mean, we have to make, you know, essential decisions on how and what. Like, we can't just like hire everybody and spend endless money. At some point, we have to meet our deliverables and our goals, and people who aren't doing well in the team should be cut before people who are doing really well, you know? It just wouldn't make sense otherwise. And then we can rehire them in the future if we get more money. You know? So anyways, I think those are the 3 main goals. You know, it's like making difficult decisions based on ranking the members in the team. So the higher the rank, the more power you have, right? Higher the rank, more power you have to make decisions. But the rankings don't have to have to do with the actual outcomes of the decisions. It's indirect. And then of course giving feedback. You know? So I would keep it more focused on the people and the teams rather than the actions and the, you know, the nouns per se, you know, like, yeah.
One question, Jay. So in this case, so you say that this task that create a self-evaluation form, 3 to 4 questions, right? Should be to evaluate like every one of us, like using these key goals that you gave us.
Well, that would be the self-evaluation. So we're going to create a self-evaluation form that'll have 3 to 4 questions, right? That really gets a little bit deeper. For example, it could evaluate our communication skills, right? Communication skills, right? It could evaluate our organization skills. Maybe it's evaluating our deliverables, and getting things done, right? Accomplishments.
Yes.
Maybe it's evaluating our I don't know, what's another thing that we want to deal with? Our contributions. So, overall contribution.
Contribution, right?
Yeah, overall contribution. So when you go to like the general form, it's just all summed up in one number, right? It's like your effort, your contribution, your communication, and your skills. It's all like one thing, right? Just everything all in one. Whereas like the self-evaluation form or self/individual evaluation form could be a little bit more broken down in details. So, and then you could still do an overall everything number, right? So this would be 5 questions, right? Where you'd have your organization skills, your overall contributions, your actual deliverables and getting things done, and accomplishments, and then your overall everything number, which would be all of these combined. Whereas the general one only has the overall everything number.
Okay.
So this one would basically just be overall everything number, but for all the different components of the team itself. Right?
Okay. This task with Lucy, shall I meet her? Shall I send her the questions, or?
I think we can meet her in the afternoon, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that what you want to do is just create a form and then make sure that Lucy is invited to actually edit it, just edit it together. I mean, whoever just does it gets it done. It just needs to get done, So you don't need to like try to spend a week scheduling with her and figuring that out. I mean, she's on the global team. I'm just letting you know that this is also something that she might help with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But think about this, like once you create a self-individual evaluation form, right? This single form can be used, like uses, it can be used for self-evaluation, it can be used to evaluate others, and it could also be used to evaluate team. So we could use the same form to say, okay, the Andromeda team, how is the Andromeda team on communications? Is the Andromeda team organized? Is the Andromeda team contributing to the overall network? Is the Andromeda team accomplishing its deliverables and getting its shit done? Right? Are you following me?
Yes.
Right? So this is like, you could call it almost more of like a detailed evaluation form. So this could be a detailed evaluation form, whereas this one's like the general evaluation form. And then the team evaluation form actually is specific, right? So this can be used for anybody and anything. This one can be used for anybody and anything. Whereas the Andromeda team evaluation form will only be used for the Andromeda team. It'll actually name each individual and each existing buddy team within the Andromeda team. So it just won't be able to be used anywhere else. Does that make sense?
Yes, sure.
And the same thing.
It's more general.
Yeah, and these would all be just like, it would just list all the different components of the Andromeda team, and then it would be like the general evaluation form where it would literally just be the general, it would just be like one score for each person and each team.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's important to mention here, like, when Nelly says that, she doesn't really like evaluating people, like Nelly says, don't like evaluating people. So one thing you could say, like, you don't have to, right? So nobody is forced to do evaluations. Like you're not going to be forced. That means you're not ranking anybody. And if you don't give anybody good evaluations, then they don't get higher on the rankings either, right? So, it certainly is good to be at least doing good evaluations when they come up. All right, hold on one sec. No one's ever required to do anything. So you're not forced to do evaluations, or you could say like, I'm not going to give bad bad evaluations, only good ones, right? So you could do that as well, right? So that would just affect the type of evaluations you're getting, but it all is going to average out anyway. So people who are doing both good and bad evaluations, you know, it'll register within the system. And the other thing you could say is that, you know, I'm not going to do individual evaluations, right? So you don't have to evaluate people. You could just evaluate teams, right? You could evaluate buddy teams, or you could evaluate, you know, double teams, you know, or super teams. And you could also evaluate, you can evaluate organizations, right? But does that make sense, Nelly? That you know, or you could just not do any evaluations at all.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to.
No, I will do it. I will do like everything is required, you know, because I believe that at the end, these will help us to grow like a team, you know.
Totally. And you can also just do evaluations for yourself. You know, you can do your self-evaluations. And if everyone just evaluated yourself and your own buddy team and your own projects, then in that way, it would just like, everything would work out. You know, if everyone truly evaluated themselves truthfully, you know, on their contributions and everything, that's all you would need. You know, no one would ever have to evaluate anyone else. But the thing is that it's just like, it's a biased data point. So even though we always want everyone to do self-evaluations, if anything, self-evaluations will probably be the most required, you know? So this would be the closest to being required would be the self-evaluations. Yeah, and then it would go down from there. But anyways, I think it'll be fun. And just to review, since we're on the topic, all of these evaluations will be put in spreadsheets as we get them all organized. And then eventually they would go into, let's just go down to the bottom here. So now it's the bottom, into our prioritization and ranking.
Yes.
So you have a prioritization and ranking for the budget. And then you have your work time and contributions. So your work time and contributions has nothing to do with evaluations. It's just how much time did you put in? How many equity assets are you building? How many other credits and contribution credits and value tracking credits have you accumulated? And then it'll just show who's putting in the most effort by a monthly, quarterly, yearly, all-time basis. And it'll, and this will be a ranking, right? And whoever's ranked near the top was going to be, you know, priority for decision making. So then the last one is evaluation. So we have three models of rankings. One is by evaluation, and we do session evals, weekly evals, monthly evals, and then our elections are part of the same system. It's all part of the same model. Everybody is part of the election. So think about it like this, like, you know, we're going to elect a president, or we elect a chair, we elect, you know, co-coordinators, or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yes.
We're going to rank everybody, and then someone will end up as number one, and it'll be like, do you want to take the position of president of our network? And they're like, no. So then it goes down to number two, and they're like, no. And number three. So then number three is like, yes, I'll do it. You know, so then or maybe it's a co-coordinator, maybe there's co-chairs. So the co-chair elections would be like, you know, there are 3 people, but maybe the first 2 people don't want to do it. The third person takes it. Then you skip like 3 or 4 people, and then the 7th person takes it, you know? So it's like, even though you're going to be ranked and you're going to be chosen to, you know, represent the organization, you can decline. But everybody automatically gets ranked. That's how our system works. Cool.
Okay.
So I think that's pretty good. And then you guys skip we don't have to do nominations and like all that jazzy jazz, which is ridiculous.
Okay.
Because
just the elections.
We just elect, and everybody is as equal, can equally be voted upon. But obviously, people who prioritize and people who want to, you know, do campaigns or whatever, you know, and do nominations, that's perfectly fine. But anyways, this is all work that needs to be done. I mean, we need to get this stuff done. Obviously, the global team is more responsible for some of the internal systems, but eventually and we have this for the budget. So for the budget decision making, we already are ready to make those decisions because everybody's already ranked. Luckily, we got paid. We have money, so for at least this month, everything's going to be pretty good. But yeah. All right. So any other questions on the evaluations and the ranking systems and stuff?
No, not so far.
Coolio. And I mean, you know, technically this is all part of our models and systems, you know, but if people want to have, input or concerns, whatever, you can certainly express them. We can try to change them, but it's part of our overall methodology. Maybe we should cover that at some point here. Where's our next steps? Overall methodology. All right, and this would be for a Thursday meeting. All right, so I think we are ready to move on. Priority topics. So I guess we just did updates. So we got kind of sidetracked with updates, template, doc, agenda, meeting notes. So we want to definitely get our template, doc, and agenda meeting notes set up. This is important. I feel like it might have already gotten started. So let me see if this happened yesterday. It would be here, and it would be under session support. Did it happen or not? Don't see it. No, of course not. Of course the task did not get completed. Speaking of tasks, did our task get completed? So we have, oh, this is different.
Organization overall. Nope. Let me check for today. Yeah, I think we are.
So it was just adding the master topic list and the master task list to our topics and tasks, and I do not believe that has happened yet. So we want to get that. I want to get that done so that we can look at them.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go into yesterday's meeting. So this is today's meeting. I want to go into yesterday's meeting. Right here, so let's see here. Where is it? Template, text only, meetings. All right, so here's our docs. And this is supposed to go into the session support. So this is the template, text only, session meeting notes. And we have template notes here. So I probably should index this as well. So the goal is really just like getting our template meeting notes set up. This would also be linked, towards the top. We'd want to have our template session/notes. I think we have a really good template already. We just never created it into a template. It was a task, but we just never got it done. And the template was on some of our, group team sessions. I think it was like around here. Let's see, Tuesday, May 2nd. Task, yesterday's task, next steps, wrap up. So we have some of the wrap up here, evaluate meeting schedule, check-ins, video indexing, yesterday's link, task, ongoing tasks. But it's still not particularly organized. So it looks like we just copied the, you guys still here?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm just checking the documents as well.
No, this one
I'm trying to check in that.
I don't see it.
No.
Do you remember which one that I was looking for? Oh, here we go. This is it. Agenda. We got setup, topics, priorities, wrap up. This is good. All right, and see how it has our meeting R&Rs, our roles and responsibilities, and everything's in there, right? It's like
Yes.
perfect.
All right, yes.
So now we want to go to
Our notes.
session support, voice template, session meeting notes, and this is the template.
Oh,
Right, huh? And we're gonna leave here session support doc. And I'm just kind of curious who owns it. So Abdul owns this doc, which is a problem. I don't know how to get people to always use the right one, but anyways, we'll fix that later. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Yeah. So the other things that are obviously missing here is just the top section. So this is good for that, but there's still everything else like the video indexing and the contents and all this other jazzy jazz, especially all of this stuff.
it's the agenda. Let me check.
Anyways, we will improve upon this over time. We want to try to make one that's basically a template so that it's easy to get it started every week, you know? Or remember, the template is not what we use for every buddy team. I mean, the buddy teams, this is mainly for like, you know, higher level meetings, right? Meeting session.
Yes.
But you know, sometimes
But if we
use them
keep
for
the same model, it will be like more organized. Or
it will help, but sometimes it's good to not be organized, right? It just all depends. So I mean, I could push us to do it every single time, but it's like it's mainly just knowing how to do it. So when you have a bigger group, you know, so with just a buddy team, but once you get into double teams, and you know, super team, official super team meetings are good to do, like when we do have our Andromeda sessions. So
Okay, I'm working on it right now.
what are you working on?
Yes.
What are you working on?
On a template.
Are you on the same template that I'm on?
I am.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, we already have a template.
Oh, you already have a template. Okay, give me just 1 second.
It's linked right into the notes for today.
Okay, let me erase this one. How do I erase a document?
You don't have to erase documents, actually. You can just leave them.
Okay.
Cool. So anyways, the template voice sessions, and the voice session template's actually a little different than the text only sessions. The text only sessions will end up being a little different. Anyways,
I thought I had to create a template, but you already have one.
No, we already had it. I just wanted to get it documented. And the idea is that for the template, we would link it to the top so that we have access to the template, and then we could, you know, copy back and forth so that, you know, in certain situations we don't want to use the entire template, but we might use some of it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So anyways, we'll keep thinking about the template. There's also components of the template that we're going to want to improve upon. For example, the roles and responsibilities in the meeting. I don't know if we want to go back into that, but we could. Cool. So do you guys want to move on or go more detailed into the meeting template and structure, or are we good?
No, we can. Actually, I think I'm just seeing it here. I just changed like the date. I'm going to probably delete the names over there. No, I don't know if there's anything missing over there. Oh yeah, the links.
Yes.
The links.
Oh yeah, we want to put the master task list, the master responsibilities list, like all that kind of stuff. But remember, this is a template for like any team, you know, and not necessarily Andromeda team. So we could actually, you could actually use that new template that you made. If you wanted to create, we could create a template just for the Andromeda team, you know, so that you're ready. It's ready to go every time with our master task list, everything like that. But yeah. Okay, so the things that we skip that are the most important as far as the team the setup goes was session/meeting positions and also the time frame. So those are two things that we skipped. Do we want to? We should at least go over the time frame so we know how much longer we have. You know, because it's a little after 3 America's time.
Exactly. Yes.
So that would be good. So for our schedule for the rest of the day, and then I don't know if we want to review some of the meeting positions, but where are we at? Let's do the time frame real quick.
And me.
Okay.
Okay. I got Nelly. How much time do you have?
I have like 3 hours or more.
From now or from 2 p.m.?
From now.
All right. Well, as always, I have class at 6. Well, 6 here is 5 over there. No, wait. 6 here it will be, yeah, because we are 1 hour ahead, so it will be 7 over there. Yeah. It's almost a quarter past 4, because 1 more hour from America's time. So I always have like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. as always.
Okay, so it gives us like 45 more minutes, right?
Exactly. So if we want to do a wrap up, I'm gonna let you know 25 minutes before our time. Okay.
I would say we wrap up like, you know, in 30 minutes. So this would be at 3:45.
Excellent.
And then we take a break, and then, you know, we could do some buddy team Jay and Nelly. Later. Lots to do. Cool. So this would all be good. So meeting positions, are you guys pretty good on that? Ready just to keep going? Yeah. Okay. So.
Yes.
So I mean, if this is a double team meeting, it makes sense to go through the meeting positions a little bit more. But since it's just the 3 of us and our buddy team, it's not a big deal. All right. So, and didn't you average our average numbers?
Average numbers for what? I'm sorry.
For our check-ins. I thought I remember you averaging the numbers, but it's not. It's blank still. So I don't know. So topics. So this is all done. All right. So we're ready to go into the next one, which is scheduling and structural evolutions. Are you guys there?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So, sure. So the scheduling and structural evolutions, I think, is really important. This also relates to our need to get more help.
Sorry about that.
So we really do need more help, and basically, like, think about it, like, if we have there's 2 main things. So one would be that if you have everyone come to a single meeting for 2 hours, then, you know, you can only do so much. So this would be like 5 people, you know, doing 2 hours. So it still equals 10 hours, right? So that's one thing where we might want to, you know, open.
Isaac is checking in.
Yay, that's great. We can add Isaac to our check-ins.
Yes.
Well, and hopefully he'll actually join us. We are on.
Let me give him the link. Just 1 second. Joined us. Okay.
So we'll let Isaac check in and everything when he gets here. So just to put the second one out. So the second thing is that we have some major responsibilities, specifically with note taking, primarily in the morning, and this is mainly during what we call the Atlantic session.
Okay.
And so it just makes sense to try to open out and basically I want to kind of open up our structure and our scheduling a little bit more, very carefully, so we want to open up a little bit, but very carefully, because we like what we currently have, and we don't want to mess up what we currently have, but we do want to also meet some of our responsibilities, especially some of the note taking in the morning. And this also could be, and this also relates to investor relations / recruitment.
I can do note taking in the morning, Jay.
Okay, yeah. So we want to break it out, but it's like you haven't really done much note taking here. I mean, I think Jorge obviously is the highest level. So if you think about note taking, so note taking skills, right? So skills. Currently, what we have is we have me at the top, right? I would be number 1. Then we have 2 would be Jorge. Yeah. Jorge's involved a bit. 3 would be Isaac is involved a little bit. And then 4, I would say Nelly and Clara.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Isaac, you made it.
Hey, Isaac.
We have a really, really weird weather right now. And yesterday, the power supplies, the things that we have on the post, one of them exploded, and I went without electricity about 20 minutes ago. And sorry about that, but I'm here now. All right, we're doing your check-in, Isaac. So I'm gonna do it really quick. As I told you, I had to spend the night at my grandma's because I didn't have electricity. But everything's back online, I guess. Internet is still kind of laggy, but I'm doing fine. Everything's good. I have to clean out the mess my dog left when I wasn't here. I'm like a 7 out of a 9 and check. Okay.
Cool. And we definitely want to get into the habit of doing these averages and write down the average number, and then we're going to be logging the average number, and we'll be able to see over time how our feelings are. Are you going to do that, Jorge? Are you going to write down the average?
Yes, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, it's great to have you here, Isaac. So we've been in the thick of it. We did, we can add here, so this would be, so right here we would add in buddy, team, double team. You're now a double team. Nelly, Jorge, and Isaac. And this would be a 2. And it should actually organize out. Let's see if we do our notes. Technically speaking, we're supposed to put a line here. This could be part of our index as well. And then here you have the contents of notes. So we have buddy, team, Jay, Jorge, Nelly for the first part, and now we have team with all of us are here. So I can go back down. All right, so just so you know, we covered, Isaac, we basically went over some updates. Our updates included the full moon session, which is tomorrow at 9 a.m. America's time. We also have we went over our new evaluation system and some of our new points for being on time and such. And then we went over our template doc agenda, and now we're in our scheduling and structural evolutions. And so we're going to continue with that. And then we'll talk about some more deliverables and new budgeting, and then go into responsibilities and start doing some work. Okay. If we have time for that beforehand. Oh, before we forget, what's your time frame?
Sorry?
How long do you have?
like 3 hours, 4 hours from now.
Cool. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna wrap up and check out here in about a half an hour. Take a break.
Yes.
And Jorge's got to go, and then me and you and Nelly are gonna continue for the afternoon. All right, okay?
Yes.
That works.
Cool.
And well, I would like to start training in note taking so I can help in the morning.
Great.
We're gonna have a meeting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. American time, right?
Yeah.
It's priority, and I have to be there. Okay, got it. Just schedule it.
I mean, you don't have to be anywhere. It's totally optional.
Sorry,
but
that's the way you speak. It's like a figure of speech. I know it's not like mandatory. But
yeah. But the official way to term it is that tomorrow is a full moon session, which in the priority would be a global natural cycle session at irregular times, and so it would be a top priority, even more important than the America sessions. It's a global session tomorrow.
okay.
Yeah. But it's also a pretty low-level global session. I mean, full moons happen monthly, right? Like full moons, new moons are all the time. So, or not all the time, but you know, once or twice a month.
27.6 days.
Yeah. Well, 29.5 actually, about 29.5.
Ah, yes, yes.
So, in the context of the only other session that's a lower level than that is the quarter moon sessions, but we're not even doing those yet, but we will start doing them soon. All right, so let's get back into the session meeting, or not the session meeting, the scheduling and structural evolution. So we kind of want to re-index this again, not re-index it, but add a new index layer. So this is like part 2, okay?
All right, part 2.
Yeah. So the first thing for you, Nelly, in terms of note-taking is that, you know, there's no time when you can't note-take. Everybody can help with note-taking all the time, right? There's like, in the model of note-taking that we're trying to do is that we're all actively taking notes together.
Yes.
In addition to that, tomorrow you will practice doing a text-only session. In fact, I think it actually might make sense that me, you, and Isaac, when we come back this afternoon, to start our next session as a text-only session and actually just practice it for like half an hour. It's actually really interesting. I think you guys will like it. And it's our primary form of global communications now. I mean, you know, primarily we will start our global sessions as text-only sessions. And then they will break out into voice sessions. If we ever do a voice and text only at the same time, we basically need to pre-plan that because we'd have to have dual facilitation. All right, so so feel free to jump in and help. Like even right now while I'm talking, someone could be taking notes, but no one is, so it's not getting recorded. All right, so or at least recorded into the notes. We have it in the audio. So investor relations recruitment, we need more note-taking skills. I think it would help us to have, you know, more note takers, especially for English. I can't wait till we start doing reunions en español.
Spanish sessions.
I can't wait, dude. It'll be awesome. Anyways, we'll get there eventually. We just need to like complete all of our freaking tasks, and then it'll be ready. We'll be ready to do that. All right, so. The other recruitment is local. It's just like without the local headquarters recruitment, it's like we can't. It's just impossible to meet the operations responsibilities for EXA. It's just not possible. All right, and then from there, so this is definitely applicable to you, Isaac, as well as Ana Clara. What we want to do is we want to basically break down and kind of push the Atlantic session, right? So we want to keep, so this is the America session. Does everyone understand that when I say this is the America session?
Yeah.
So we're the Andromeda team, and we're what we would call the first Americas team, and we meet during the America session. Right? So if we pull up our, let's see if I'm going to go to the top again here and go to our drama team. Let me pull up our scheduling doc because this is what needs work is our scheduling. It'll be we're going to start calling it our Octant scheduling doc. Let's go ahead and just copy and paste this into the notes. So if I open this up, what we end up with here, and I'm just going to bring this into the notes. These are the sessions. In the America sessions from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. America's time.
Atlantic 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Yeah, okay. That I need to, okay.
And so there's 8 sessions total per day. 1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6 of the 8 sessions are at times where people within the Americas are somewhat awake. Right? But obviously the actual America session itself is the most active because that's where it's sort of in between, where we have the most people from the Americas that can engage with it. So the Atlantic session is sort of in between the East Coast of the Americas. So this would be the East Coast of North America and the East Coast of South America. And then the West Coast of Europe. The West Coast of Europe and Africa, right? So and then of course any islands in the middle of the Atlantic. And so that would be the most applicable, but it's early morning for the Americas. It's the morning for the Americas, so it still happens. I'm extremely busy during this time. So Jay is extremely busy, but I'm busy doing EXA client work, right? So let's just look at this for example. Saturdays and Sundays are basically off, like there's no meetings for EXA at least, right? It's also good to note that Jay is available for Saturdays and Sundays during the Atlantic session. So this would be like we've been doing some buddy team Jay and Nelly. So we might want to consider rescheduling this, Nelly, for the Atlantic session on Saturdays. But I'm also available some Sundays as well.
To work with them on Saturdays and Sundays?
No, EXA client work is here. So Saturdays and Sundays we're off. No EXA client work on Saturdays, Sundays as far as meetings are concerned.
Okay.
As of now, that could change. So then
but we are still working on Saturdays, right?
What?
Our buddy team, Jay and Nelly, on Saturdays is still going, right?
Yeah, can you see my screen? Some buddy team Jay and Nelly Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
And the key thing is that that's during the Atlantic session. Right? Because you're available in the mornings, not the America session.
Yeah.
Okay. So going back to here, so some buddy team Jay and Nelly for their client work. Mondays, core team meeting 11 a.m. This is like essential note taking. Okay, and value tracking. This is where we hear about what everyone's doing. Tuesdays.
That's what we do on Mondays and Tuesdays, right?
Operations office hours. What?
Value tracking that we are doing on Mondays and Tuesdays, right?
Oh no. Value tracking. This is like deliverables and actual work. And this also goes into project management. This is like project management. Who's doing what, when, how, why, all that kind of stuff. Like this is like the real deal. Okay. So this is the core team. This is the EXA core team. Wednesday's executive team meetings, right? So this is a professional level legal meeting minutes. Okay, so these are essential note taking. Right? There's a big difference between taking notes and taking legal meeting minutes. Right? You guys understand that? Do you want me to explain it more?
Yeah, because at the end you have to read the minutes for everybody so everybody can agree.
No. So the difference is that on Mondays, the notes are they're important, right? Let's just call them important note taking, right? But if you don't take the notes on Mondays, it doesn't really matter. It's not the end of the world, right? Wednesdays, these are professional level meeting minutes, and these are legal documents where decisions are being made that affect people's lives. Do you see the difference? So these can't not happen. This must happen. You have to have not only meeting minutes, we have to document them very well, and they need to be documented to the level that it records legal decision making, right? Whereas this is just important notes that are good to take, but they don't necessarily need to be like, you know, a legal level. Like if we miss it 1 week, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so Thursdays is the Econaut Partnership Board meetings. And this is also professional level meeting minutes. And Fridays are, and this is Tuesdays office hours, 11 a.m. This is 11 a.m. I believe as well. And this is 11. Oh no, this is 12. 12 noon. 12 noon. I believe this is at 11. And Fridays is exa core team. So if you basically what I'm thinking the best way to do this is operations office hours. I mean, Isaac is already invited, you know, if someone else wants to help with some of the operations office hours, they can. The important note taking, I think Mondays and Fridays are the best place to start. So these are important notes, but they're not like legal minutes, you know?
Okay.
But even Thursday, like this Thursday, I have like I'm kind of double conflicted, like a slight conflict. Jay has slight conflict this Thursday. So it technically could be helpful to have some help. And the only other thing I'll mention here is that regarding note-taking, it is technically possible to listen to the recording and take notes afterwards. And this is also a possible good way to practice too, you know? So for example, I could send you a link, Nelly, to, you know, a meeting that we haven't taken notes on yet, and we just recorded it, and you could take notes from the recording, right? Kind of boring though, but
okay,
you know, it's technically possible.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. So if you wanted to do that, we could do that. So anyways, that's the Atlantic session. More importantly, that's just client work, and that's actually secondary to the real deal. The real deal is that, you know, the Atlantic session in and of itself is a really important session. You know, we can have other buddy teams, and even global communications. So I guess the quick question is like, who else is available at these times, you know, for the Atlantic session?
Mm. 5 to 8 p.m. That's like my 4, right? Like my 4 day, right?
Yes.
We're talking about 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. America's time.
Yeah, I know. But Atlantic session.
Give me just 1 second.
Make it available. I'm talking about the other sessions. I can be available in the morning. Yes, I have to. I wouldn't be this week, but if I organize, I can be in the morning. I help you out.
I wish I could be in the mornings, but I'm doing some work during the mornings, and well, actually I need that work. But if I was totally available during the mornings, I would be doing this.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean,
I can do it in the mornings. I am available right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean.
Yeah.
we already have me and Nelly, so we could add like, you know, maybe Nelly some mornings, you know, so we'll try to think about that. And we know Ana Clara is available. Ana Clara, right?
Yeah.
Is a yes. In fact, she's maybe more available during the Atlantic session than she is in the Americas session, right? So it's possible at some point, it's possible Ana Clara might leave the Americas, you know, team and maybe even the Andromeda team and go into a new team that might come into the Atlantic session, right? So the thing about this is that think about over time, and this is why this section is called structural evolution, right? It's scheduling, but it's also part of our structural evolution because our structure as a network is bound based on who is available when to communicate and what teams come together based on those restrictions, right? So Ana Clara might actually end up in a different team, and the Atlantic session might actually end up with its own budget. And we'll talk about that more. Right now, it doesn't have its own budget, but eventually it might have its own budget. The other thing to think about here is that there are lots of people in specifically the, what do you call it? This is the Eastern Asia that are available. And there's also Oceania. So Oceania and Eastern Asia, as well as Eastern Australia. Include Sydney, right? So there's a lot of people who are available in the Atlantic sessions to get involved and build buddy teams who don't need to be involved in exit client work. And I'm just personally not available during the Atlantic sessions myself, but we could set up a team that could come together globally and be very, very important in the broader context of the network. Do you guys see what I'm trying to say here?
Yes.
So the Andromeda team is in the best place to help support the creation of an Atlantic team, of the first Atlantic team. Do you guys see what I'm saying?
Yes. So the more structured we are, the more aware we are about this process, we're going to be passing down this knowledge into the creation of the new team, right?
Yeah. And obviously right now it's me, Nelly, and Ana Clara who would be primary responsible for the new Atlantic team, right? Of putting together that. So let's actually add that as a responsibility, right? So we come up here. Okay, we can make it a next step as well. So if we say priority topics, priority next steps. So this could be Atlantic team, first Atlantic team. And this would be a new responsibility. New responsibilities would be Atlantic team, and this is buddy team J, Nelly. Okay. And just so we know, like some people who we can basically assume would most likely be available during this time is Ulysses and
Abdul.
No.
No?
Julie. Julie's our new person, and she's awesome.
I don't know her.
She's brand new. She just got involved on Sunday. So it's like 2 days. She's only 2 days in. And she's like one of my favorites for the global team. She gets high marks from me. She's like the only global team members who are currently like really active on audio is Julie and Lucy, and that's it. You know, everyone else is text only. So, all right. And yeah, because the reason is they're in the Philippines. Philippines. So let's go through the Oceania session real quick. This is basically the double team Jay, Abdul, Lucy, and Ulysses, and Julie. So this double team, right, which eventually will get its own name, is within the Oceania session is pretty big time. And that's really exciting. So the America session is pretty good. The Pacific session, we're starting to eke into that a little bit. Like sometimes Nelly is available, sometimes, you know, some other people are available. But mainly we have this Oceania session is basically 7, and this is 7 days a week, 7 days per week.
Wow, that's pretty, it's kind of late.
It is late.
It is late.
I know, but I'm not saying that we need more people. We have plenty of people here. In fact, we actually have too many people, right?
Yeah, you have a lot.
Yeah, so part of what I'm trying to get across here is that we want to like open up. We want to open out a little bit, right? And
Yeah.
so this might kind of reduce some of the focus on the Andromeda team.
Yeah.
Right? But overall, the key thing with the Andromeda team is that the top priority is the weekly session. And so the Andromeda session is Thursdays.
Yes.
2 p.m. American time. So we want to make this session more important, whereas other sessions during the week is not. It's not as like urgent to make sure everybody's there. Like maybe people put some more time into the Atlantic session to help with note taking, and other types of priorities. Working with EXA, because this is basically like session. EXA is gone. Like we don't even do things during the America session. So EXA almost entirely takes place during the Atlantic session. And the reason for this is because of Europe. We could also add in here Europe. Europe. You got Eastern Asia, and then you got Europe as well. Did I already put that here? Lots of people in Eastern Asia, as well as Europe. So this is Western Europe.
So let me ask you something. Would you like Andromeda team to support the rest of the teams?
Just for this Atlantic session.
Okay. All right.
So basically, if we look at let's look at our responsibilities. So if we go to the Andromeda Super Team. Team responsibilities.
Yeah. EXA.
Doesn't look like we have the updated team responsibilities here. That's a problem. So the other thing we want to hack here is linked here is our responsibilities doc. So our team responsibilities doc. It should be up here somewhere. Let's see here. I don't even see it.
Project management system? No, it's not.
No, that's the one that we did last week.
Responsibilities doc. You
Yes.
should have it. It should be linked here. Let's see. Team responsibilities.
There is.
Where?
And then the other thing we can do is we go to the full team doc. So is the full team doc linked up here? So we should probably have the full team doc linked. Full team doc.
I don't know what it is.
Right, so let's just get these tasks listed. So we have a bunch of tasks, okay? I'm just gonna list all these tasks under this section, then we'll get more difficult. So tasks. So one is we need to link the full team doc to the Andromeda team. 2, we need to link the team responsibilities doc to the Andromeda doc. Okay. So additional responsibilities, right? We have our team doc, needs to be organized. And this would, so that's just something that we need to figure out how to deal with. Additionally, there's some scheduling responsibilities, and then we're also adding in the Atlantic team and EXA responsibilities that can only take place during the Atlantic session. Right, so let's get back to here. No, get rid of that. So the full team doc should be pretty easy to find on the global team. So if I go to Americas, and I go to teams, it should be here. Nope.
It's only 2.
So let's try the global team. full. No. Jeez. All right. So where would the full team doc be? Oh, under the global. All right. It should be under global.
I'm in the global and I don't see it yet.
Here it is right here. Full team doc. All right. So the global team's got the full team doc. Let's make sure it's at the top of everything else. So we want here the Andromeda team. So here's the full team doc. Well, Bloom. Let's make sure it's the right size. And let's take a look. All right, so the full team doc. We're gonna get the Oceania team in here. Oceania team. Full team. All right, this is what I'm looking for. Andromeda, double Andromeda team. These are our roles and responsibilities. Okay, so, and then we're adding to this a new responsibility, which is the Atlantic, support the Atlantic team, okay?
Yeah.
Or the soon-to-be Atlantic team. It doesn't exist yet. So if I come into Andromeda team, I'm gonna go back to the team responsibilities, and we still need to find the team responsibilities doc, but now it has our overall team responsibilities. So these are like our overall double Andromeda team responsibilities. And then this needs to be yellow because it is a problem. All right, cool. So that just was a long way of just adding the Atlantic team to our responsibilities. And the key thing here, so that we don't forget, of course, is to actually assign it. So this is going to be Buddy, Team, Jay, Nelly, and Anaqueta. And maybe in future weeks, we might add Isaac. So me and Nelly can work on this on Saturday. So Nelly, were you planning on did you want to do a Saturday session this week?
Yeah, sure.
So, you know,
this Saturday, it's going to be 12, right?
That would be 11 my time. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I'm going in the morning, like 7:30, to run in a marathon, but it's going to be for type of donation stuff. But I'll be back home like at 10.
Guys, if I can join you for, I don't know, 1 hour during Saturday, can I do it?
Yeah,
sure.
all sessions are open for anybody to join.
Excellent. Nevertheless, I'm going to write you on Skype or just before, just in case I have some free time, all right?
Okay, so do you want us to invite you?
Yeah, sure, yes.
And then,
just in case, because probably on Saturday, I'm going to work only half day. I don't know if it's going to be the first half or the last half, or it's going to be divided in two, so just in case, yes, please.
Cool, and we can talk about, you know, what the Atlantic session will be during this, you know, because this is basically the Atlantic session time. And then maybe we'll even get some people from like the Philippines or something joining us, which would be really cool. Or even better, people from Europe, right? Western Europe. Okay, so I think we have a plan there. And I know it takes a little extra time to schedule, but oh my God, trust me, like it will, like the time and effort we put into helping support an Atlantic team, like every time we get a new team on board means that we're that much more capable of getting work done. And eventually we're gonna wanna have 8 teams during each of the sessions of the Octa, what are I calling them? The Octa sessions, or I don't remember what I was calling them.
Guys, we're supposed to be wrapping up right now.
Okay, so let's, yeah, I think we're ready to wrap up. So let's go into next steps. What are some other new next steps that we should, oh yeah, the Octant sessions. And I want to put this into our full team doc. So are there any next steps you want to note?
Just to start working in the Atlantic team, but I think we already got that.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna come back up here. So some tasks briefly that we need to get better at. So there's the video indexing. Jorge, are you gonna take care of that?
Yeah, sure.
So I just wanna copy the video index to our master video index list. And that should also go in our template to make sure that we have the master video index in here. So for video indexing, video indexing and the master video indexing. That contents of notes needs another line here. All right. So the next thing was talking about deliverables and introducing the budget system. So maybe we'll continue that. And then we have going into responsibilities. So we did a lot of setup stuff today, but it just needed to happen because, yeah. And I think and then because we need to get organized because there's just too much to do to not be organized. So priority tasks. I don't know. Did we ever get the master topic list, the master task list copied in to our notes? I don't think so. So we still
not yet master task list.
Yeah, so we still need to do that, and we also want to get those into the template.
The Andromeda?
Add to template as well. They're in the Andromeda. That's where they already are.
Yes, I'm gonna link it to today's document.
Ooh, communication systems would be awesome to go over. We have time this afternoon. And the new priority responsibilities is the Atlantic team. And then we need to do there's going to be a master responsibilities list, right? This is our team master responsibilities list. So this is a big problem. So find the team responsibilities list, add to master list, and add to template notes. Nelly, do you want to help with that?
Sure.
Cool.
I am adding the master task list to the Andromeda document. That would be under.
You're adding it?
Yes, I'm adding it.
The master task list is already on the Andromeda team.
Oh yes, it's there.
Yeah, so you want to add the master task list to our notes and to the template note.
I'm doing it right away.
Yeah.
So there. We can add the new tasks to the master task list.
Yeah, and that's the other responsibility we need to do is we basically need a, eventually, like these actually might even be positions. So you might have like a task master, a topic master, and a responsibilities master. I hate that name though.
Okay.
But basically, we need a responsibility Anyways, let's just not worry about the positions. What is this linked to?
Task master list.
Okay, master
task list.
Right. So the master task list, so this would be the master task list would be linked to the top of the tasks, which are right here. So put that right here. So. All right. So basically we need to so these are ongoing tasks and responsibilities. Updating the master task list, updating the master topic list. Updating the master responsibilities list. Okay. So these would be and updating is just really just like copying and pasting from the notes to the list, right? So that would be an ongoing task. And then the ongoing responsibility is organizing the master task list, organizing the master topics list, and organizing the master responsibilities list. So you guys see the difference between organizing them and just copying and pasting? Yeah. And the master responsibilities list is always the most important, then the master topic list, and then the
I think also what we are missing is we are doing it. I thought we weren't, but we are checking the tasks that we are already doing. But we are doing it.
I would put that as the next step. So we need to review our task lists, etc.
Yes.
But more importantly, we really need to review our responsibilities, and that's our next step here is responsibilities, right? Because it's so hard to track all of the tasks, right? But the responsibilities, you can track responsibilities because there's not as many of them.
Yeah.
And then people are responsible for coordinating their own tasks. And then obviously we need to track tasks as well, but we want to coordinate the tasks within responsibilities so that there's clear structure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. And then the topics are, I mean, the next steps, you guys understand next steps and topics are the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then, yes, follow up with the tasks. I think we are not following up with the task. So that's important.
Yeah. So discuss, review task lists, processing, follow up.
Yeah.
So we need a system. We might need to create a new system.
Yes. Yes, exactly. We need a system. Perhaps checking tasks, review, mark them like done. I don't know.
Cool. All right. So let's let Jorge check out.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just check out right here.
Okay.
You want to start, Jorge?
Yes. Right now, I'm just gonna. I need to catch a bus and class, home, and have some quality time with my girlfriend and my dogs. That for now, I just get some work done now.
Cool. Nelly.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a break and then be back for the meeting with Jay and Isaac. And hope we can get in a little bit more organized about all these things that need a little bit of work. And then I'm just going to check some restaurants to take my mother to tomorrow. That is Mother's Day. Check.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's next?
Isaac?
I think I'm next. Oh, well, I'm going to take obligated rest, break, because everyone is taking a break. I'm just glad that I'm still here, and I really want to catch up with everything. I feel a little bit frustrated because I know I'm falling behind, but I hope that if you have the chance, or whenever any of you three have the chance, if you can help me get back into the line with you guys, I will appreciate it. But for the moment, I will take a break and come back and work with Nelly and Jay.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, and I think Miyu and Nelly will be able to do some of that and get you caught up and move things forward on behalf of the whole team. So that'll be good.
Awesome.
Yep.
I think about a half an hour is enough. And Isaac, you're welcome to do tasks, during the break. I mean, you could work on the task list and the responsibilities list and all that kind of stuff. If you wanted to do that.
Yes.
I felt like this meeting was important. Like,